Never in my wildest dreams, ever, did I think that I would have an opportunity to do something which could find commonality and strings and purpose with so many of you. I don't know what day the good Lord blessed me to have so many amazing friends in my life as all of you. I don't have words to express my gratitude. And all I'll say before I get beginning is, I'll never let you down. If you put your faith in me, we got ways to go. We got so far to go. We got so far to go that sometimes we can't even see it, right? But I'll give you a little analogy that I learned a long time ago. Some of you know that I'm very fond of sharing stories my granddad used to tell me. And he used to tell me, he goes, you keep working, you keep working, and as the big guy upstairs lifts you, you're going to see more and more. And he's going to bless you with vision and insight and discernment. I was young. I was maybe 10, 11 years old. I'm like, Papa, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He goes, I'll give you an example. He goes, I'll explain it to you. He goes, why don't you lie on the floor face down? I said, okay, Papa. I lie down. He goes, how far can you see? I can't see far at all. He goes, okay. He goes, now sit up. And I sat up. He goes, how far can you see? Well, I can see you and I can see the end of the room, Grandpa. He goes, right. He goes, did you have to do anything to see? Or did you just have to sit up? I go, I just sat up. He goes, yeah, you just sat up. He goes, now stand up. And I stood up. He goes, how far can you see? I go, well, I can see to the kitchen now, Granddad. He goes, that's right, you can see further. What did you have to do? I go, I just had to stand up. He goes, right. He goes, all of a sudden you were given the vision to see further. He goes, would you know how to walk to the kitchen? I go, absolutely. He goes, why? Because I can see it. He goes, that's right. He goes, now if you got on top of this table, how far could you see? I could probably see over the big window because the window's a little bit high in that room. He goes, right. And he goes, what would you see? I goes, probably see the neighbor across the street. He goes, that's right. He goes, what did you have to do? I go, I just have to get on top of the table, Grandpa. He goes, that's right. You just got to get going. He goes, what happens if you stood up on top of the house? How far could you see? He goes, I could probably see the whole neighborhood, if not the city, Granddad. He goes, that's right. He goes, as you move and as you go up in life and as he lifts you, he'll also give you the vision and the intelligence and discernment to know what to do with that. And so as we keep growing, our vision's going to keep getting clearer and clearer. We know where we want to go. Sometimes it doesn't seem so obvious to us, right? We know in our heart that we got to go. But you know what we got to do? We got to get up. We got to take the next step up. And trust me, we're just at the base, we're at base camp, right? We got some friends in here. My good friend Lance, he's a mountain climber. He's climbed some of the biggest peaks in the world. He says, Jay, we're at base camp, man. We just got started. We're going to climb Everest. But imagine that. You know what? You think things are exciting now? What happens when we get to the top of the mountain? We're going to see everything. And everybody's going to see us. That's the other side, right? You get a lot of attention at the top. We get a lot of attention now. Some of it's great. Some of it's not so good. But it's okay. We're focused on what we got to do. And that's really, us celebrating this weekend here. It's us getting up and doing what needed to be done so we could all be here together. And for that, I want to thank you and I applaud you for getting to Cancun. Welcome. Welcome to Cancun. You know this guy? You might have seen him on Twitter or the news. So what's so special about Elon Musk? What's he known for? He's known for being worth $250 billion. Okay? Think that's a big number. That number is so big, it's hard to get our heads around it. Okay? I'll tell you how big that number is. If I stood here and started handing out dollar bills, and I gave a dollar bill every second, it would take me 11 days to give out $1 million. It would take me 33 years to give out $1 billion. He's got 250 of those. Okay? But what about this guy? Look at him. What's up? Right? So the average 53-year-old's net worth is $1 million in the United States, about $1 million. So what does that mean? Is Elon Musk 250 times smarter than the average person? That's not possible. In measuring human potential and human capability, it is not possible for any one person to be 250,000 times smarter than the next person. Does that make sense? We agree? Yeah. Okay, so it's not brains. He's smart, but he's not 250,000 times smarter than the average guy. Okay, so that's not it. Is he physically 250,000 times stronger than the average person? We got a former champion in our midst over here, Mr. Rashad Evans. Hi, Rashad. Rashad would smoke this guy. Right? He's not 250,000 times stronger than any one of us. He's not even 250,000 stronger than any child, let alone the average person. So it's not physicality. So that's not it. Is he 250,000 times more handsome than the average person? I don't think so. Right? Just a regular guy. He looks rich. That's about it, right? Looks like a rich guy. So that's not it. Does he have 250,000 times more time than any of us? No. Does he? 7 days a week? Right? 24 hours in a day? So it's not it. So what is it? What's the deal? What's the deal with this guy? I'll tell you what the deal with this guy is. You're gonna shake your head. You're like, oh my God, is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's not that complicated. He's got massive belief in himself. If you read his books, you read his interviews, he starts with him. Forget about the thing he's gonna do, it's him. He goes, I can do anything and I don't quit till I get it done. Massive belief. He multiplies that with a massive dream. The dream will not be bigger than his belief. We agree? Yeah. Right? People want to get the dream first and the belief second. Got to get the belief first. Right? But it's not plus, it's multiply. It's actually exponential, but that's too hard to explain. We'll go with multiplication. Massive belief times massive dream. Times? Anyone want to guess? Sweet deal. Massive action. That's what you got to do. That's what he does. He believes in what he wants so much, in himself so much, that he can do anything. And he can. Because remember, he's just average, right? Like he's just like the rest of us. He's not 250,000 times better than anybody at anything. So his belief system is like way up there. And because of his belief system, he's absolutely convinced himself that he can do anything. And his dream is, yeah, I'm going to change the whole world, and then I'm going to go to Mars. Okay? Okay, let's go. Let's do that. Let's do that. And he's like, okay, and he got everybody behind him. If he didn't have that self-belief or that dream, and he didn't work as hard as that, could he do what he did? No chance. This guy sleeps on the factory floor. The richest guy in the world works 100 hours a week. Let that settle in. Wow. Why? Massive belief, massive dream, massive action. To change the world, he's figured out his rubric. He's figured out his formula of what it takes, right? That's the key. So if it works for him, can it work for us? Right? Because he's not even good looking and you people are beautiful. Right? Without those three things, but the first one is belief. It's you. It's you. Your belief system will encompass everything. But I got news for you. I got a message for you, each and every one of you. You're all limitless. The potential inside you is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But you have to dig deep and realize it for yourself. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we go on. Right? That's how you get to this guy. Massive belief times massive dream times massive action. And you get to wear a tux with a white ribbon and a white shirt. Right? Own Twitter. Go to Mars, blow up rocket ships, and make electric cars. But there's no limit. None. It's all here. Right? We know this. The thing is, we know this, but we don't believe it. You've heard this before, the belief speech. I know you have. We've all heard it. But there's a reason there's a way to get to it. Okay? And what that is our worldview. What does that mean? Is how do we individually see the world? Right? You ever heard the saying that perception is everything? Yep. That's wrong. Perspective is everything. Right? How we see the world, unfortunately, sometimes defines us. Our perspective puts a thing around us saying, oh, this is how the reality is, when it's not. And to get to the core of it, to our world belief, there's 8 layers to it. I'm going to focus on 3, but I'm going to give you all 8. At some other mastermind, some other day, we'll go through the whole 3-4 days of it. It's a lot of fun, right? There's layers to us, right? The first layer are thoughts. Our thoughts are just winds and clouds because they come and go. How many thoughts do you think each one of us have every day? A few? Yeah, a lot. When we drive home or we drive to shopping, I don't even remember the drive there. Ever happened to you? You don't even know how you got there? Because our mind, right, is a time traveler. And it's doing one of 2 things usually 95% of the time. Regretting the past and agonizing about the future. Right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I got to do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I didn't do this, I didn't do this. Just, and they're fleeting. And we think they're real. But they're not. Right? Then right below that, what drives some of our thoughts are emotions. Emotions are oceans and waves. Because boy, they can come and go, right? Even when we don't want them. The good and the bad. Right? And these 2 things drive 99.99% of people's decisions every day. We agree? We're like, well, how did that happen? Because they're not even real. They're not even real. Right? The next thing is the thing that connects our reality, actually defines our reality. Those are actions. Right? That's how we interact. That's how we make sense of our emotions and our thoughts. It's the things that we do or don't do. Anybody have a really bad day and you say something or you do something that you regret it the minute you did it? You're all so perfect. None of you put your hands up. It's good. Good to know. I do it all the time. But I learned how to do it better. I write an email, and I just save it. I get it out. Then I delete. Or there's some few precious friends in here that I vent to. You know who you are. Right? Action is the intersection between reality and what's going on inside our head. Right? It's the actual mechanism of how we live and how we react to our perceptions, or our perceptions of the world and our perspective of the world. Right? That's why they're so important. But then there's beliefs. Now these things, they're like snapshots, like Polaroids of how we believe reality to be. Of that's reality. This is what it is. Right? You ever get mad at somebody or happy about something, but you believe something else to be true about it? Or you won't be happy for something or upset about something because your belief system's anchoring you to something else? No matter what the logic is, no matter what somebody's telling you, you just don't believe it's true? Happens, right? That's how powerful beliefs are. Our beliefs are more powerful than our knowledge and our capabilities. Know this. 100%. Right? Eric's over there. I said, Eric, just trust me. Close your eyes and run into that wall. You'll go right through it. He'll be like, no chance. Because he does not believe he's going to go through the wall. Right? He's going to break his nose or something, right? Our belief system is an envelope around what we can get to in our lives. It is an envelope around the most precious things in our life, which are what? Our hopes and our dreams, right? If we don't fix the belief system, we're gonna get stuck. Like really stuck, really, really, really stuck, right? But what's driving those things? Values. So these are like tectonic plates. These are the things that we call judgment. Things that we will do right or wrong, good or bad, right? That define us. Like, I don't believe in that. I don't do that. That's right, that's wrong. We all have values, right? Most of them we got from our parents. True. Sometimes our parents do a number on us. Not intentionally, not in a bad way. It's just how their parents did a number on them. And they get a belief system and a value system that becomes a rigid envelope, right? And the only way we're going to recognize where we are is by addressing and saying, okay, you know what? I'm here right now. This is my belief system right now. These are my values right now. And I'm not saying values are right or wrong. I'm saying we have to be aware of what ours are, right? Because when there is a misalignment between our values and the actions we want to take, we get very upset. You guys ever get asked to do something and put in a situation where you didn't want to do it, but somebody's telling you to do it? Ever happen? Yeah, right? How did it make you feel? Terrible, right? We feel horrible. So in the context of what we're doing, when we ask people to do things that are not aligned with their value system, we come across as pushy. Well, you don't understand me. It's not important to me. I don't believe that. So we, as professionals, have to take the time to understand people's beliefs and their values. Because the thoughts and emotions don't matter, right? Because we said they're temporary, right? They're not real. But beliefs are real. Values are real. So we have to do the work to understand what's important to people, right? Because if we don't, we're talking a different language they're not going to understand. Roles, the invisible, social. Now this is very, very nuanced stuff. So what's the role? It's the role people believe they play in their own life. How many mothers in here? Yeah. Grandmas, wives, girlfriends, sisters, professionals, accountants, mechanics, pilots, right? All roles, same person. A lot of roles, right? Those roles play a key thing of how our belief system develops. Because roles have expectations, right, that we put on ourselves. If I'm this person, this is how I'm supposed to behave. This is how I'm supposed to speak. That's what's expected of me. You see how we build these layers around ourselves? Things we can't get out of. Right? But they're very distinct. And they're all... Who's in control of this, by the way? We are. Right? There's nobody like over there controlling you. Or saying, well, that's your value system, or that's your belief system, or this is who you are. No, we get to decide. We get to decide. Right? Then we get to identity. Now this one's the I, right? The I, like the one who we really are, and the one that we want to be. Because that I, that person, that's one who has the values. That's the person that has the beliefs. That's the person that has that role. And that I is the guardrails of how we protect ourselves. What will people, everything about it, what will people say? That one? That's just the I manifesting itself in our head. And again, putting envelopes around what we think is right or wrong, or what we should or shouldn't do. And then finally, the deepest part of it is our dreams. The deepest part of it is our dreams. One of those. I can tell you, over 90% of people never ever share their real dreams. They never really share with even their closest loved ones what's in their heart of hearts. Do you know why? Fear of judgment. Fear of judgment. What will people say? But you know who needs to be absolutely clear on their dream? You do. On your own dream. You got to own it. You got to dig deep. You got to find out, hey, listen, if you close your eyes and said, if I could have the perfect thing, the perfect life right now that would make you abundantly happy, what would that be? It could be anything. For most people, it's money. They think it is. Then they get a lot of money and they realize it isn't. Happened to me at the age of 38. All the money in the world, not happy. Weird. Thought that was it. Made it. Shit. Still happy. What happened? Had to go through this purpose, had to go through this thing. Who am I? Who am I? What do I want? And how do you find your dream? We're going to talk about that. But you gotta be patient with yourself. Can't rush. Can't rush. There's ways of questioning yourself. Okay, what would really make you, would that make you happy? Would that make you happy? Would that make you happy? First thing, it starts off with all the amazing things you're grateful for. Your dream will, trust me from experience. I'm no psychologist, but I'm just very experienced in this. Until you come to a level of gratitude for what you have right now, your dream's not going to be clear. The universe will not reveal its purpose for you until you give thanks for what you have. Trust me, it will hold back. And you will suffer. Little bits. Right? Because you're like, I'm not fulfilled, I'm not fulfilled, I'm not fulfilled. You're ungrateful, you're ungrateful. Right? That's how this works. The universe is amazing. The more you give, the more you get. Trust me. The more you give, the more you get. What do you give? You give gratitude. What do you get? You get your dreams. But you gotta dig deep and find out what it is. So we're gonna go. So the three most important things here. Beliefs, dreams, and action. We can spend a week talking about this. Maybe I'll put a workshop together. I used to do it before. But we're going to talk about those three things. Beliefs, dreams, and action. If we nail that, just that, your life changes. Not overnight. You got to work at it. right? You had a dream. I know you had a dream. There's more work to do. There's more work to do, right? But you got to fight for it. You got to fight for it. But as soon as you do, your dreams fight for you. Anybody ever read The Alchemist? Yes. Yeah. One of my favorite books. This is about engaging in our purpose. This is about being an active role in who we are and how we feel about ourselves. Right? It's so important. It's so important, right? That we take the time to know who we are. And then we can identify where we are and where we need to grow. Right? So beliefs, snapshots of our reality. I mean, these are the things that, the big envelope around everything that we do. And lots of things influence our beliefs, our values, right? All those different things come into play. Our identity and our roles shape our beliefs, right? So what are they? They're assumptions, convictions, and expectations shaping our perception. Beliefs versus thoughts and emotions, more stable, enduring. Your thoughts and emotions will go up and down. Your beliefs will not change easily. Right? It's hard to change our belief system. So we got to work at it. That's why it takes time. So don't like, if you're emotional about something, doesn't mean you believe it. Right? It's usually because of a belief system we're so emotional. Right? That's why people get offended. Because something at their belief level got scratched. Right? They are our mind's shortcut for managing complexity, right? Things are so complex. Relationships are complex. We're complex. Things we do are complex. And what belief systems do is create this nice little structure for us to work through. And they're so powerful that once they set in, they actually become foundation of our reality. That we just don't believe that to be true. Or to be true, depending on which side of the, whatever situation it is, right? So they're underpinnings of our reality, but they influence everything. They influence how we see the world, the decisions we make, and how we react to the world. That's how powerful beliefs are, right? And there's conscious beliefs, right? So deliberately adopted. This is our faith, this could be religion, this could be our politics. Things we've learned, right? Over time and repetition, right? They become that. They become a part of our belief system. Then there's unconscious beliefs, absorbed from early experiences and cultural, AKA parents, right? How many of you at one time woke up and you realized you were just like your parents? Happens. You end up, I say stuff to my son that my dad used to say to me. I'm like, whoa. When did that happen? My dad's favorite line, nothing good comes out at 2 o'clock in the morning. He was right. He's heard it a few times. Right? Just belief systems, right? Belief about asking for help linked to self-reliance. So there's this thing that self-reliance means that you don't ask for help. Right? It becomes this envelope, it becomes this brick wall that we've created for ourselves. Is it real? Like, how does that make sense? Oh, you can't ask for help, you have to be self-reliant. Who said? One of the most powerful things you can ask for anyone in business is help. Right? My favorite thing is, listen, I need your help. No one says no. Ever. At least the people I hang out with. I know this for a fact. Not because I'm Jay, but I'm pretty sure that even if we were just acquaintances and I come to listen, I need your help with something, you would at least hear me out. Yeah? Yes. Most people are like that. But we get told in our belief systems, well, you got to be self-reliant, you can't ask for help. Can't ask for help. You think Elon asks people for help? Yep. Yeah, everybody. Calls the government, I need your help. You got to give me tax deductions on my electric cars. Okay. Yeah. Calls the labor union, I need your help. We're going to make more cars. Okay. Calls the electric company, hey, I need your help. We got to reduce the electric rates because I got to run my factories. Okay. Weird. Just ask for help. It's okay. But it defines so many things. But the impact, interpretation, and action. So how our beliefs control our actions is so powerful, right? And sometimes we take it for granted because it's so fast. We respond to our beliefs faster than the thought and emotion. Because there's things that we accept no matter what without thinking about it, right? And things that we reject without thinking about it. Yeah, beliefs. Like that. Right? Any of you talk to somebody who says, oh, I don't believe in the patches. You hear that? No. Right? Belief system. They didn't hear you out. They didn't read a dang thing. They didn't know anything. But already like, oh no, I'm out. You out of what? You out of your mind. You haven't even listened. Belief system kicked in. Right away. We all still do it. I do it. Right? I do it. But there's things in my belief system over time that I've changed. My belief system is that I can do anything. That it's all possible. Actually, I believe that. I believe anything and everything is possible. Because if I didn't believe that, this tech wouldn't exist. Because everybody told me, oh, no, that's not how it works, Jay. Stick to computer coding. I'm like, well, I'm going to keep going. Because I didn't believe in their belief system. Right? You have to develop our own belief system. So resilience versus self-doubt and facing challenges. Right? If we believe that nothing ever works out for us, is it going to work out for us? No chance, right? We're not even going to try. Most people don't try. If we believe that I can't sell, guess what? You can't sell. If I believe I can't do public speaking, I can't do public speaking. Whatever we believe is our reality, right? So, but none of it's real. None of it's real, right? So this is how, but it impacts and limits what we can and won't do. Business context, shaping organizational culture and behavior. So what does this mean? All of us here, we gotta, as it relates to what we're doing with SuperPatch, there's gotta be a buy-in on the belief system. What's that belief system? Right? We gotta believe. What do we gotta believe? We gotta believe that we're doing the right thing. Our products work. We're going to change the world, and we're going to do it honestly and safely. That's our belief system. And if anybody tells you otherwise, and there's a whole bunch of other belief systems, like, we're the best, no one's like us, everybody wants to be, like all those other things that we have to feed ourselves, right, that make us feel great about what we're doing. But if we don't buy into that belief system of why we are so special, and really the best at what we do, then there's cracks. What happens to cracks? They get bigger. They get bigger, right? Right? But it's our belief system. If our belief system is 100%, nothing can defeat you. You've changed it. So where do you start making this? The first belief system is in yourself, that you can do anything. You got to have that in. You got to say, yeah, I can do anything. And you can. Trust me, you can. Trust me, you can. It's got nothing to do with education at all. It's got nothing to do with education. It's got nothing to do with how old you are. It's got nothing to do with what you've done before. Your belief system. All of those things have led you to believe they're impacting you, but they're not. You've let it, but really they have no power. Okay? It's a step-by-step self-awareness that we have to come to grips with, right? So working with beliefs and influence and persuasion. So what does this mean? When we are trying to get people to see our viewpoint, our worldview, we have to be able to share our belief systems to make sure we find alignment with the other person's belief system. Because if the belief systems are not aligned, you're not going to have any alignment. right? It won't work. It's like say it this way. Our products are only right for people that believe in drug-free solutions for health and wellness. Does that make sense? If I say that our solutions are only right for people that believe in drug-free solutions for health and wellness, I put my belief system out there, right? So only people that believe in that should talk to us. So we said, hey, but if somebody says, you know what, I love big pharma. I'm in love with big pharma. I do what everything big pharma says. There's a lot of them, right? They're probably not going to align with our belief system, right? And when we push them, they're going to think, oh, you're so pushy. Where's the science? Oh, I don't believe it. Da, 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 da. Okay, right? Because they're locked in to their belief system. Reciprocal relationships. Beliefs and actions inform and evolve each other. So this is the key. We won't do things we don't believe in, right? We agree? If we believe that pasta is going to taste bad, are we going to eat it? No chance. And if mom made us eat it, we had a scrunchy face on our look. Right? But if we believe that it's going to be everybody told you that you believe it's going to be a great movie, it's a great book, you can't wait to get started. You want to see it right away, you want to read it right away. Or somebody tells you about a great restaurant, you want to go there right away. Then we take that action because our belief system's aligned with what we want. Same thing in what we're doing. Same thing. But that also applies to our own action. If we believe we have the best thing in the world, the best product, the best tech, the best company, the best team, the best everything, then our actions have to match that belief. Our actions have to be reciprocal to that belief system up here. I can't say, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world, the best thing ever. Like, what are you doing about it? Nothing? I'm waiting for Ricky to do it. I'm waiting for Eric to do it. I'm waiting for Wolfgang to do it. I'm waiting for somebody else to do it. That means my belief system is not there. If you have somebody in your life, and I'll compress it, in your business, in your organization, that is not amped and getting at it, there's a gap in the belief. They're not all in yet. They're not all in yet. There's a gap, and you have to find out what that gap is. And sometimes you can address that gap and get them on board. Sometimes you can't. But until they do, until they buy in, until their belief system gets to that level, it's not going to work. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to change their belief system. It's hard work if they don't want it to change, right? So this is a shortcut for you to do quick assessments of your team and say, hey, who's bought in, who's not bought in? If your team members don't know why we're the best and their belief system is anchored in that, our job is to fill that, make sure their belief system is getting aligned, and then pointing them in the right way, that North Star. Strategic focus. We have to, when we're exploring belief systems, our own and others, we have to do it with honesty, respect, and sensitivity. We've all been to those training courses where they say you got to ask a lot of questions. You guys been to those training courses? Yeah. I've seen people in our industry make it like an interrogation. What's your why? What's your why? Tell me your why. Right? How's that sound? Sounds phony as hell. Doesn't it? Does it sound phony? Because right out of the gate, you're like, oh, you want to know my why so you can sell me something. It's not. Our belief system has to be that you believe in what you're doing and let them to say, yeah, I believe in what you're saying and I believe in that, and then take the next steps. Without it, Steve's nodding and said, Steve knows. Steve, you've been at this a while, brother. Right? There's a secret, there's a shortcut to this. Anybody want to know what the shortcut is? Yeah. Completely capitulate to serving others. Understand? Give them what they want. What are they looking for? What's going to make them happy? Give them that. And be able to paint a picture of what you're doing is going to help them get what they want and how they want it and when they want it. That's the only way that it works. Because what they're going to sense in you, don't fake it. Like, do it for real, right? Don't fake it. What they're going to sense in you is genuineness, authenticity. Okay? And this is how the mind works. In our brain, there's a little thing called a amygdala. Okay? The amygdala is the world's greatest BS detector. Trust me. Okay? It takes in billions of bits of information in a second and processes at light speed. And it makes a decision. Truth or false. If it's false, it kicks it down into warning zone. Our limbic system goes, flight or fight, warning. Ever go someplace or meet somebody where you don't feel good? And they haven't said anything, you haven't seen anything? Yeah. That's your warning system going off. Because it processes subconsciously so fast that you can't consciously be aware of what's happening. Okay? But you ever meet somebody or go someplace where you feel at peace and you trust? Nothing's been said, maybe not too much, but you know you're in the right place. Ever happen? And it goes, that information goes to the truth. It goes to the cortex. So this is where the process is the truth. The only thing that will get through that filter is the truth and genuineness and authenticity. They could be donkey nodding you, but inside the belly, if they don't feel it, they're not going to do anything. If somebody says, yeah, I'll do it, they don't do it, yeah, they don't believe you. They are uncertain about all the things that you have said. You know what uncertainty leads to? Paralysis. Because when I'm uncertain, I'm like, I got to wait and see. I need more information. Aren't we all that way? It's yellow light, right? It's like yellow light. Should I go, not go? You go, not go? How many of us here run yellow lights? That's me. Every yellow light gets run. Right? Because I got to go. Can't wait. I don't have a yellow light. Right? Most people, when they see yellow light, like my dad, sees a yellow light from a mile away, it's a yellow light, he stops. I'm like, dude, it's going to be green by the time you get there. He's like, no. No. The worst. Right? Side joke, when I was learning how to drive from my dad, this is how he used to instruct me to drive. He'd sit beside me like, I go, you don't speak? He'd direct with his finger, you take the wrong turn, you get mad. This is what we're doing to people when we expect them to do something. It's like we're giving directions with our fingers and not really clarifying with them, right? But we gotta align with their belief system. And the only way we're gonna get through it, ladies and gentlemen, the only way you're gonna get through it is by speaking the truth. And you could tell them anything, and if it's the truth, you're gonna get trust. That sounds weird. If you say to somebody, hey, listen, I'm doing this because I got to make a lot more money in my life. I got expensive life. I got kids. I got to make more money. This is why I'm doing this. And that's the truth. They're going to believe you. That's better than lying. I think I'm only here to change the world. And you don't believe it. And you don't believe it. And you could be. I am. You know why you believe me when I say I want to change the world? Because I'm telling you the truth. But if you're not there yet, don't make it up. They're going to feel you. I'm telling you the truth. Trust me. Trust me. If you need... Okay, everybody close your eyes. We're going to do a quick test. How many of you... Close your eyes. You don't need... That's just for my purposes. How many of you know what you would do with an extra $10,000 a month? Put your hand up. How many of you know, keep your hand up, don't put your hand down, put your hand up. How many of you know and believe that extra income is going to positively change your life? Put your other hand up. Okay, open your eyes, look around. You think the rest of the world is different? My hands are up. Hands up. Yeah. That's the real world, man. And ladies, that's the real world. We can't, what I'm tired, and what annoys me is like we try to cover up what our real needs are and what our real beliefs are by giving it a sugary coating meaning. We're doing the right thing. We all need to make more money. But we have an opportunity to do it ethically, the right way, help people without harm in an affordable, accessible way. That's the win. So if you need to make money, wouldn't you do it that way than other way? That's the win. That's why we do this. Right? Because without an economic model, this world, I'm sorry, runs on money, not gravity, by the way. Checks in the mail. I appreciate it because no. But listen, everything's so damn expensive. Everything's so expensive. Right? But if we have to make money and we want to make money, we need to make money, let's do it the right way. Let's do it in a way where we're going to feel proud of what we're doing. It's going to align with our values, align with our belief system, and leave us open to explore our dreams in a way like never before. That's the deal here. Where we don't have to shy behind, I'm doing this thing with this thing, and you only got to take it twice a day, and you got to go, and we don't do that. We don't do that. Right? We did the hard work up front. And now we get to put our belief system and our love and our passion, our action into it to realize what we got to do. Right? And then we get here. Think big, dream bigger. Dreams are aspirations, visions, and ideals reflecting our highest potential and desires. They're so deep. They're so deep inside that most of us, not all of us, so I'm not going to generalize, but most of us haven't done the work internally to get to that. That's the kind of stuff you do when you're alone in the dark. So you know what, I got to be true to myself. To be happy, to reach self-actualization, to say this is why I'm here and this is what I'm about. I wish that for all of you, whatever your is. To spend the time, to think about it. You're here in Cancun. Sit by the water, sit by the beach, sit by the pool. Close your eyes, chill. And say, you know what? If it was perfect, what would it be? And it's allowed to change. It's allowed to change. Okay? Because whose dream is it? It's your dream. And then expand it. Because what's holding back the size of your dream? Your beliefs. Your beliefs. Just your beliefs. Nothing else. Deepest longings and the grandest imaginings. Hope, motivation, guiding us through all challenges. When we believe in a dream. When I had this radical notion, this crazy idea that I could make something drug-free that could help people with their quality of life, every expert told me no. They're still telling me no. They're still denying it. Peter Hurwitz is here from Clarity. We've done what, almost 10 studies now, Peter, over the last few years? Still tell us no. It's their belief system that's stuck, not ours, right? So we have to become, in our dreams, we have to become unreasonable. We have to become unreasonable. Because progress is the domain of unreasonable people. Because reasonable people just accept the status quo, right? My mom and dad, most reasonable people you'll meet, everything's by the rules. No, can't do it. Read the instructions, Jay. I'm like, I know, but that's why he stops at the yellow light a mile back. Love him to death. Gentlest, kindest, saintly man that I know, my dad. But buy the book. Buy the book. Hardcover, not even paperback, like. Right? But when we bought into our dream, because who needs to buy into our dream? Just us. Only person that's got to buy into your dream is you. But you know that any limit you put around it, I'm telling you right now, as your friend, Anything that's telling you in your heart, in your mind that you can't have that is lying to you. That's a bad belief, an old belief, a broken belief, a corrupt belief that's holding you back. Don't let it. Don't let it. It's not, you didn't make it. Somebody gave it to you. Somebody gave you a belief that's holding you back. Give it back. Say, hey, think your leap, bye-bye. Don't want it. Return. 30-day money back guarantee, 30-year money back guarantee. I don't care. I don't care how long you had it. Give it back. You don't need it. You don't want it. Give it back. Delete. But there's so many different types of beliefs, right? Specific and tangible dreams, right? Starting a business, writing a book, traveling. Abstract, expansive dreams, make a difference, find true love, spiritual connection. Common thread. What's the commonality? Possibility and purpose. Possibility and purpose. Why are you doing it? Why do you want it? If it's going to make you happy, nothing is more purposeful than your happiness. Does that make sense? If your dream ultimately is not going to make you happy, you're going to be unhappy. Weird, right? I chased that. I chased money. For me, that was what happens. I chased money, chased money, chased money, chased money, got it all. Big pile of it. Unhappy. Thought that was what was going to be happy. Why? Because I had other people's belief system telling me that all the money in the world was going to make me happy. You know what made me happy? My family, my mom, my kids, my wife, my health. Their spiritual well-being. That's what made me happy. Money made it easier. Money made it better. So don't get me wrong. I've been poor and I've been rich. I've been unhappy both sides. Money makes it easier. Makes it easier. Makes it easier. It does. Because I've been unhappy and poor. It was no fun. Now, listen, if I took half the room over here, all rich, some of you happy, some of you maybe happy, sometimes happy, and took half of you, not that you are, and put them over here, and you were not rich, you were kind of surviving, maybe barely, and you were happy or unhappy. How many of the rich, happy / unhappy people would trade places with the poor people? Not one of you. Every single one of them was like, I'll trade spots. I'll pick you over here, Eric. Right? It's what it is. Because money gives you one thing, gives you time and resources. The things that really make us happy, unfortunately, they don't pay us for. They don't pay us for that. They don't pay us for service. They don't pay us for humility. They don't pay us for compassion. They don't pay us for serving the other human beings. They don't pay us for any of that. They don't pay us for that. But that's where our core happiness sometimes resides, right? No one's paying me to love my family, right? So they don't pay us for that. But for me to do that, I got to go make money over here so I can do the things that make me happy, right? But the common thread is possibility and purpose. So passion and need. Dreams arise where our passions and unique gifts meet the world's needs. They drive growth, creativity, and contribution. Now, this is interesting. So how did I get to here? My two great passions in life, my two things that I'm really great at are learning, and I love to help people, and caring for others. Caring for my mom brought that out of me. And I care for my kids that way, I care for my wife that way, I care for my parents, my siblings, for everybody that works with me. I treat them like my family. I treat all of you like my family. Why? Because that's so inside me. And I love to learn. I've always been a lifelong student. So I was able to combine those two things to find my purpose and realize my dream. So how do you find it? You got to dig deep. So what do you love to do? What are you great at? What makes you the happiest? And that's going to help you find what's going to really become the anchor of your dream. Right? It's all different, but the beauty is this. What we're doing, I can bet you dollars to donuts. Whatever your dream is, you can find alignment with what we're doing here to help you get there. right? My purpose isn't your purpose. That's not the purpose. That's not the thing. Doesn't make any sense, right? But what you should know is that I'm so committed to this thing for me and my dream and my purpose that I'm not quitting, right? There's no quitting. So that means for as long as you want to go, as far as you want to go, I'm going to be there with this. There's no 5-year plan. There's no 10-year plan. There's none of that. But what's your 5-year plan? I go, there isn't. They go, what do you mean? What kind of business? I go, it's not that kind of business. I go, when do we stop helping people? He goes, what do you mean? I go, we're out of business when there's no more people to help. That's the business plan. Amen. Right? That's when we stop. That's when I stop, at least. Or when the big guy says, okay, time's up. Right? That's okay. And that's why I have this urgency. And the urgency is this. I don't know how much time, how many breaths, so I don't count my breaths. That one breath I took right now, that's the only one that's guaranteed because I have it. The one I just took 2 seconds ago, 5 seconds ago is gone. The next one's not guaranteed. That's why I pour everything into every second of this thing. Right? Because that's the only way that I know how to live. Tomorrow is not promised, right? Especially when it comes to your dream. So when do you want your dream? You want your dream right now. You got to work right now. You got to take action right now. Barriers to dreams? Stifled by, what do we know? Limiting beliefs, societal pressures, and life's hardships. Sometimes we've had a hard life and we think, well, it's not for me. It's not for me. Let me tell you something. Everything you've done, endured, put up with, gone through, prepared you for right now, for today. No purposeful effort is ever wasted. Ever. No lesson is not worth learning. Know that. So you've gone through, I call it the Shawshank Mile. Anybody see that movie, The Shawshank Redemption? He walked through that mile of poop at the end. We all got to do it. Sorry. We all got to do it. Hold our nose, eyes closed. Sometimes it gets in the nose and your ear. All that happens. Got to go. We got to walk through it. Why? We had to. We were meant to. We had to learn through that. But if you've gone through it and you're still in it, know that you got to keep going. Can't stay there. You're going to drown. It's not good. Got to go. Got to move. Reconnecting with dreams requires peeling back layers of that psyche to rediscover passion possibilities. So listen, if you are unclear on your dream, you have the perfect opportunity over the next 3 days to do some reflection. Right? We're away from the chaos. We're on the water. We're in a really nice resort. Service is great. Food's great. Drinks are free. What? Free. Take the time. Take the time. It's there. It's waiting for you. Your dream is waiting for you to realize it. Think about it that way. It's waiting. It's there in the dark corner. Are you going to show up? Are you going to get real? It's waiting. It's waiting. It's up to you. Up to you. Dreams are the ultimate motivator, mobilizer. Trust me on this. When you find it, if you leave this weekend with that thing in your heart, but what you want, that core thing, you're on your way. Nothing will ever stop you. Right? So my job is to inspire dreams and challenge to reach that potential. But I can't do it for you. That's the part that they always miss out on these things. Oh, you got a dream, okay? What's the dream? It would be so much easier if somebody could subscribe the dream for us. Okay, just tell me what my dream is. Right? Right? We've all been to events like this or other events where somebody like me at the front of the room or somebody smarter and better looking is trying to inspire you by how your life's going to change with this opportunity or that product or that product or that product. The reason, and I've done the research on them, and I went deep, the reason most people don't succeed in network marketing is they never got to their dream. They never figured out what they wanted. They never figured out what they wanted. They never figured out what they wanted. I'm telling you, whether you're with me, with this, or not with this, you owe it to yourself. We don't have a lot of time on this mud ball. 75, 80, 85 years, I don't know, whatever it is. Some was blessed enough to live longer. When you have this going for you, it's unbelievable. It's the most powerful thing that can come in your life, right? Because then you realize, you know what, this is why am I here? Big guy, why'd you send me here? Right? With all the things that are going on, why am I here? And once you find it, you will find answers to how to get there. It's like climbing to the top of the house, remember? Started my granddad telling me, he goes, how far could you see? Once you believe what you want to believe, what's right for you, you're going to see the path there. Trust me. When I started this thing, there was no patch. There was no business. There was no 300 people in Cancun. But I knew that I could find, and when I did, I knew something else would come. And I would see something else, and another moment of clarity would show up. So this wasn't an overnight thing. This was a progressive revealing of, hey, I'm a step higher, I see further. Step higher, I see further. Step higher, I see further. And now, so far up, for this technology, this company, all of us, our team, I can see decades into the future. I know exactly where we're going. Seems hard to believe, but I know exactly where we're going and how we're going to get there. Seems weird, right? But why? Because belief and absolute confidence and clarity of the dream of why this needs to exist and how it's going to work out, right? That's the clarity that I can offer. That I know where I'm going. Where are we going? We're going to touch every single household in this world. Maybe not my lifetime, but we're going to get there. But we compress it. Next 5 years, we're going to touch 5 million people across the world who are going to realize that they have options for safe, affordable, accessible wellness without pills, without drugs, without side effects. That's what I know, right? And inside that dream that I'm sharing with you, you got to find out what's in it for you. Like, how are you going to realize your dream as we march down this road with this thing? And you're going to do a bunch of other things too, of course, that are going to make you happy and fulfilled, right? But this vehicle, this rocket ship, this thing that we're launching and I've launched, that's where it's going. So if you can find an alignment, let's go. We're ready. There's lots of room on the boat. And then actions. The dream and the beliefs will not go anywhere until you do this, right? Then you're just a daydreamer. How many of you know daydreamers? I call them Mr. Gunnas. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna call them, I'm gonna do a presentation, Mr. Gunna ain't gonna do nothing, okay? You gotta take action. They translate mental activity into real world activity, shaping daily routines and responses. Our actions are a manifestation of our belief and our dream. When you don't do any three-way calls, and you don't do any demonstrations, and you don't do any presentations. Tough questions, right? But I'm allowed to ask. Because you gotta have those, because your belief system is gonna define those actions, right? So I know that if somebody isn't doing that, then the belief system isn't there. I know this as surely as I know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. If we won't do the thing that's gonna help us actualize realize our dream, then our belief system isn't there. Our belief system has put a box around us and says, you know what? I don't really believe that's gonna be working out for me, so I'm not gonna do it. Because we won't do things we don't believe. And we'll absolutely do things that we believe. right? So if we have people on our team that won't do what they told you they wanted to do, belief. We got to fix the belief. We got to get in there and say, hey, what's holding you back? What don't you believe? Influence of internal state. So all of this is inside us, right? Actions bridge the inner world with the outer world. So again, we have to practice it, but it impacts our personal lives and our professional lives. Any of us have teenagers or had teenagers? You know what I'm talking about. How many times do we tell our teenagers ABC, only for them to do DEF? Right? Because they didn't believe what dad was saying. They didn't believe what mom was saying, right? They didn't buy into it. They were going to do it their way. Right? Because if they believed us, they would do it, right? Our teammates exactly the same way. You have to treat them like teenagers. Right? They're going to do what they're going to do because they didn't buy in. It affects everything. The actions we take, they see us. Our teammates, our family, our friends, people in our organization, our coworkers, everybody sees our actions. Because they don't know what's inside you don't know what's in my head, right? You only see the things that I do. I don't know what's in your head or in your heart. I only see what you do. You don't know what's in your team's head or heart. You only see what they do. But I'm telling you this as your friend and as a kind of an expert on this. If they're not doing what they said they were going to do or what they're supposed to do, they don't believe. There's a gap. Big one. Huge. Like the Grand Canyon. And what's falling into it? Time, resources, dreams. Got to check the belief. Leaders' actions set the tone for organizations inspiring or demoralizing. So when we do the wrong thing, so as a leader, imagine if I came up and said, you know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to work out. Pretty demoralizing, right? It would be horrible. What you do is of the paramount importance, even more than what you say. What you do is more important than what you say. Okay? How many of you know people that talk a good game but don't do anything? We know those people? I know lots of those. A couple? Right? But they always have what? Excuses. Well, why it didn't work out? No excuses. Actions and excuses don't go side by side. They don't even match. Self-awareness and intentionality. We have to align behaviors with beliefs, values, and goals. This is the key. People will not do what they don't believe in. And if they're not doing what they promise you to do, we got to correct it. There's a hack to that. You want to know what the hack is? When you're bringing somebody new on your team, you got to ask them. Say, what do you think this person's successful? What do you think they do? How do you think they behave? What do you think the actions they take on a daily basis to be successful? What do you think the top characteristics of somebody that's successful in this kind of business? They'll tell you. Their beliefs, their identity, their values, all going to come out. But you got to talk to them. What do you think? For somebody to be successful in this business, what do you think it takes? They'll tell you. Oh, well, I can work 30 minutes a day. Do some social media posts. Money's going to roll on in. You know everything you need to know. There need to be some corrective measures. Right? What kind of person do you think it takes to be successful? What do you think that person's characteristics are? They'll tell you. They will reveal everything about their belief system and their values to you. But you got to know it. And if they tell you, you know what, if you know that they're going to be a sometime worker, you can't be bringing them on board. Because sometime it's full-time babysitting for no results. Right? You know the rule, right? I shared it before. There's only 3 options. Somebody can do this full-time. Some of you do it full-time. God bless you. Love you. Respect you. Keep going. We can choose to do it part-time. Fantastic. When I was growing up, part-time was 20 hours a week. You guys remember that? 4 hours a day? After school? Weekends? That's part-time. But there is a quantified time. That works also. Then there's sometime. Sometime don't work. Sometime for sure don't work. Because you can't count on it. Right? But those are things you got to get out at the beginning, because you're going to know their belief system. You're going to know their values. You're going to know what their dreams are. There's no dream working sometime. Right? We know this. Okay. The power of action. Action supersedes strategy. You know those people waiting for perfect? They're going to be waiting a long time. They're going to be waiting a long time. Because what's perfect? Nothing man-made, that's for sure. Action is the kinetic energy that creates potential energy of dreams. Action is the energy we put into our life, we put it into our dream that makes it real. Without action, without that kinetic energy of action, it's just vapor. Universal law. Objects at rest stay at rest. Right? Until a force is put onto it. Okay? This is what we have to do. Action supersedes strategy. I talk to too many people that want everything to be perfect. They want everything to be just great. And then they want to show up. Well, what's the fun in that? If we get stuck on perfection, and we know people stuck on perfection, that's not for them. Because we're moving too fast. We're breaking too many rules. We're the first ones through the brick wall. We're 18-month-old crazy baby, okay? We're an 18-month-old crazy toddler. We go through glass, we go through brick walls, we break things break, things don't work. I don't care. Why? Why don't I care things aren't perfect? We're going too fast, and where we gotta go, I can't worry about it. I have the urgency of now. Right? Because I'm here, I gotta get up here. Then I gotta get on top, then I gotta get to the next thing. Fast. Why fast? Why fast? Why fast? Tomorrow's not guaranteed. That's why fast. That's why fast. And I got news for you. All of you. Fast works. Fast works. That kinetic energy is so powerful when it's fast. But so I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take a bus, because you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there. Ever going to get there, okay? How many of you ever been on the bus? I've been on the damn bus. Stops. More people get on, some people get off. Some people get on, get off. I don't like those people. I even like that. They're slowing down the bus. Aren't they? Okay, we don't got time for those slow people. We gotta go, we gotta go. We gotta go. 5 million people, 5 years, 5 million people. Do the math. That's a lot of people, that's a lot of work. We gotta move fast, right? Action supersedes strategy. So if anybody says, well, tell me about this, tell me this, it doesn't matter. Why? We're moving too fast. We're moving too fast. Elon launches a rocket every month. $500 million. 90% of them blow up. What does he do next week? Launches another one. I love that guy. Let's do it again. Oops, let's do it again. Oops, let's do it again. Oops. Right? That's why he's worth $250 billion. That's why. Nothing slows them down, ever. His belief system is so big, so powerful. It powers his dreams, it powers his work, everything. It's like, I'm gonna go, right? Action is the kinetic energy that creates potential energy of our dreams. If you take nothing away, take that away. If you're searching for that one person who will change your life, look in the mirror. You got 3 days. Ladies and gentlemen, you got 3 days. You got 3 days. Find your dream. Find your dream. Find your dream. Find your dream. Get rid of those old belief systems that won't add up. doesn't mean anything. They're all fake anyways. They're all fake. If your belief system isn't that you can do anything and achieve anything, throw it away. You need permission, I give you permission. Who am I to do that? No one can limit the spark that God put in you. Okay? We cannot be created in His image, then all have these limitations. That makes no sense to me. That breaks everything that I believe. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right? But do it with love, do it with kindness, do it with compassion. I'll share you one last story my granddad told me. One of my favorite stories. It was about 9 or 10. My granddad was a farmer and a soldier and then a farmer again. He fought in World War II. And he said to me, he says, listen, he goes, I'm the eldest grandchild. And I tell everybody, I was always his favorite. I tell everybody that. My cousins and siblings absolutely love when I say that. But he says, listen, he goes, son, he goes, you need to, and he passed when I was only 15. So sometimes I regret all the things I probably missed out that he didn't get a chance to teach me. He said, listen, he goes, listen, son, he goes, the one that made you and made all of us is going to come visit you one day. He goes, and that's the test. What you say, how you behave, how you act, that's the test. If you pass, eternal bliss, eternity. You're saved. If you mess up, it's a big thing. I go, you sure he's going to come, Granddad? Papa, are you going to come for sure? He goes, yeah. Come sees everybody. He meets every one of his creations. He meets every one of his children. But don't think he's going to be big flowing white hair and a big beard. And he goes, nah, don't know what he's going to look like. Don't know when he's going to come. Come in any form because, that's what he wants. He goes, but you got to be sure. You got to be ready. You got to see him. I go, Granddad, I'm young. Papa, how am I going to know? How am I going to know? What happens if I don't recognize? What happens if I fail? He goes, it's not good. He goes, how am I going to know? I go, Papa, how am I going to know? He goes, it's easy. I go, it's easy? You said it's the most difficult test that ever is. I go, it's not the hardest. I go, it's the most important. I go, how am I going to know? He goes, see him in everybody, son. See him in everybody. In your words and your deeds, know that the Creator is in him. Man, woman, child, it doesn't matter. If it's a creation on this earth, treat them with love, respect, and dignity. You got no worries. That's all I'll ask of you. If somebody's in your business, somebody's a customer, somebody's a client, somebody's a teammate, we owe them love, respect, and dignity. That much we owe them. Every single time, right? That does not get in the way of our dreams. That does not get in the way of our purpose. That does not get in the way. Because that's us being completely aligned with what this thing is. This thing is to give people their dignity back, give people a choice, give people control of their life. And we got to do it with grace. Every single time. And with that, I leave you. Thank you so much for listening. Listen, enjoy the weekend. Have a wonderful day. Get some sun. And find your dreams. Love you all.